Alright, so should you summon on Licht or Fana, and if you have crystals, which one should you summon for, depending on your units? We're going to be talking about all that. So first off, I want to mention that they did also add that Nej, Baro, and Teresa will be joining us in this update too. I'm going to be guessing they're just going to be added to the banners like on the standard. They're just going to be there. Maybe they'll be rated up, but I don't think so. But at least the way they do it, I actually really like it, because this way they could have a constant influx of new units whenever new chapters drop. So I personally really like this. I think out of all the three of these, Teresa is going to be the best. Not only is she SR, she's also probably going to be a burning unit. So she's going to be good with any burning unit, because every single burning unit benefits when there is other burning units on the team. Now, there's going to be both a Fana pickup banner and a Licht pickup banner, similar to the Yami and Fuego one. Fana is blue, Licht is green, so we're going to be talking about that right now. The banner will be coming out at 7 p.m. I think it's either 7 or 8 p.m. EST is when the banner will be. Yeah, it's 7 p.m. EST. The banner is going to be coming out, and we'll be able to see Red Yami and Fuego in these banners alongside the seasonals for the next 2 weeks until the next season. So you're going to have a lot of units on these banners, and I think they're going to be really good. It's going to be normal pity. I don't think it's going to transfer over. So without further ado, let's just start. We're going to be talking about Licht first. So as we see, he's an attacker. Let's go over his attacks first. So he's got skill 1, single target. He's got his skill 2, it's like a whip single target. And then he's got his his ultimate, which is this, and it's pretty fucking sick, right? I'd say this is sick, yeah? Look at that, that's an AoE. And then that's his intro. There we go. All right. So, that's good, that's good. Now, let's talk about his skills. First off, Licht is green. He's going to be a crit attacker, and he is going to have this skill 1 single target with a crit rate level 3 buff, so 22% increase. And it should be an 100% multiplier at level 1, about there. But at level 5, it's going to be 120%, so this is going to do a lot of damage. But it's going to give you the crit rate buff, which is going to be one of the main things. And there was no indication on the turn amount, so I don't know if it's going to be infinite, but I'm going to have to guess it's going to be like 2 turns, but we'll have to see for that. Now, with skill 2 is a crit rate level 2 buff with also DP for 20%. So I think this is going to be really good, and it's going to do insane damage, because at base it's 120% multiplier if I remember correctly. And this, bro, you can expect it to do a lot if you crit. Then his ultimate is an AoE with a crit, and it should be doing 80%, which is the highest AoE multiplier in the game at the moment, alongside Yuno and who else? I think it was Ghosh. I don't remember, but I know Yuno and Luck, they both have the AoE, because there's no SSR attacker who had it. So he's the first SSR to get that 80% base level 1 AoE ult. This is going to do insane damage. Just saying, right? Combo, this is actually pretty good, but it's okay. Depends on the person you're comboing with. He does have a combo with Raya in the future, so pay attention for that. If you like Raya, maybe just for Lich, this is a really insane one already. Getting 50% damage increase if there's a DLT on the enemy. And then his passives are really good. Like, he gets immortality if his HP falls below 30% HP, so he will not die for that turn. And then he gets 10% increased crit damage, which is going to go well with his crit. Now, Licht, you're going to want to summon for him if you have Red Yami, in my opinion. You could put both of them together, and they're both going to profit insanely well off of crits. So I think if you run both of these with Finro, it's going to go crazy good. But if not, I think Licht is going to be a pretty good DPS, but he is not going to be like the best, I think. Depends on how much his ultimate does, because we've never had an attacker SSR with it. So we're going to have to see on that. But to maybe help you decide, we got a skill page. This is what it looks like. And basically, the changes is that it goes from a level 2 to a level 4 crit rate buff, and it also adds debuff block. It adds a buff block, not debuff block. It adds a buff block. Please pay attention. Buff block and not debuff block, okay? So that is going to be very good. His skill 2 is going to be insane. But alongside that, he also gets for just a passive 7% attack power increase and 5% crit rate increase, which could be good for pretty much any DPS unit, I think, if you want to just pull it. But definitely not a bad banner to summon on. I think that green is going to be good to make sure Blue Yami just doesn't have any meta relevance. And also Licht, because of his AoE ultimate, it's going to be insane against Lotus and Mars teams. So if you really hate those teams, get Licht. I think Licht is going to be amazing for those teams, especially with his skill page. And I think making it so that there's no you have a buff block could be really good against like Finral teams. So just pay attention for that. You could use this one turn 1, especially with the level 4 crit rate buff. You're going to be getting insane crit rate plus the buff block. It's going to be very good. I think Licht is a pretty good unit, but I don't think he is a must summon for everyone. But I think he's just so cool that you're going to want to summon for him, right? So I think that summoning for him is not going to be a bad idea, and you won't regret it. I think you personally will not regret it at all. Now, next up, we've got Fana, and Fana is really interesting, but I don't like how they built her with her skill page. So I'll explain that in a bit. But Fana, so we'll go into that. She has 2 AoEs. So her skill 1 is just a single target. Her skill 2 is a AoE with her Salamander, the Go, and then her ultimate is also an AoE. So we'll just see this right here. I think it looks sick. Like, look at this. Look at them, bro. Oh yeah. That's sick. I love that. So that is Fana right there for you. Now we're gonna go here. So her skill 1 has a 60% chance to apply burn for 2 turns. And then we got, I think this is like a pretty okay skill 1. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but because it hits multiple times, you could get in a lot of damage, I think. You'll have more chances to crit, right? Now her skill 2 is a AoE, obviously. And what's really interesting, I think if you need a PvE grinder, she's gonna be your guy, right? Like, she has a lifesteal, 50% chance to lifesteal if one person has burn, which I mean is going to obviously be good with like people like Fuegoleon or Leopold, and even Teresia, because Teresia is now going to be added, right? So I think she's going to be good with any other burn, and especially for PvE, if you put her with Fuego, they both have AoEs, they'll both be great. She'll get the lifesteal, and I think this is really good. And then her ultimate also has the same multiplier as Licht's, and she gets an all attack power increase. So what you would want to do, we'll talk about this. I'll talk about what you would want to do with her after, because I don't want to spoil the skill page. So this is all attack power increase is amazing for burn because it gives her both M attack and attack, which is going to make her burn do really good damage. Now her combo, if there's debuff, 50% more damage. I don't personally like combos. I think using ultimates is better, but hey, if you want to, go ahead. Now her passive for the unique one, I'm not really too sure, because this would be a bit weird. 15% damage increase when HP is at 100%. You'll get that first hit is going to be good, but then afterwards you don't have this. So I don't really think that passive's too good. But then 7% damage increase is good. In total, you get 22% if you have her passive duped out twice. So I think it's okay, but definitely not comparable to Licht's, because if we go here, he got immortality and 10% crit rate. So I just feel like that's really good. But the 7% damage one is nice. Now, what makes Fana so good is you kind of need to have her skill page, because she gets burned on her AoE skill 2 if you have her skill page. And I feel like that's stupid, but that's how it is. If you're pulling for Fana, you are pulling for her skill page. You need her skill page for her to be good. I'm just saying it outright, because how you're going to want to do it, you're going to use AoE, get the all attack increase, and then you're going to use her other AoE to make it so that burn does more damage. Plus you get the lifesteal. It's going to be good. It's going to be very good. And then she also gets all attack power by 10%. So her burn, like in general, that's a 50% all attack increase. You got the 40%, the 10%, and then she does more damage. Fana is going to be an amazing PvE unit, and I think she could also be a really good PvP unit, but we'll have to test her out in PvP, but I could say 100%. Fana, especially with her lifesteal, which is going to be self-sustaining, she's going to be amazing. And honestly, if you don't have Red Yami, she's a must summon, in my opinion, because Red Yami is the other PvE god, because you just spams his AoE. She's going to be able to do that in a way, because she used ultimate, skill 2, you get to the next turn, she'll probably have, or you use skill 2, then ultimate, and then she's going to just recycle, and then she's going to get skill 2 back, she's going to ult. It's going to be crazy. She has lifesteal to be just like not dying, right? Kind of like Leopold. I think Leopold does that too, but we'll have to see on Fana's HP, and her stats might change a bit of things. But I think both of these units are really good. And the fact that there's Teresia, I'm kind of like hyped about this, honestly. I like that there's new units for us to get in these new banners. Now, another thing is, where is it? So, do I have the banner dates? I want to try to find the banner dates. Here. So, we might be getting a step up on the 22nd, because from the new, Season 2 starts on the 29th, which means that the seasonal banners start a week after these banners end. So that means we are getting a new banner here. So we could expect a step up this week, probably. Just wanted to kind of add that in, right? Now, should you summon? I say yes if you have the crystals. Of course, thing is with Season 2, you're going to get enough crystals when that season starts because you're going to have the Hall of Illusions reset. You're going to get a bunch of rewards from just like clearing up to 70 at that point. You're going to have Arena reset. You're going to get a bunch of stuff from the monthly. You're going to get 2 dupes from the monthly, so you'll be set to not need dupes. And I think that these units are going to be really good. Fana is going to be able to keep any red units in check, especially with their AoE. If there's a red Yami and a red Asta team together, Fana is destroying them. And same thing goes for Licht. Of course, this is like a rock, paper, scissors thing, so every single color is relevant, but I think red is the most relevant. Red and blue. And green does need the help because right now the only good DPS is Fuego. Licht is already, he already has a place on a team. And he already has units that could support him, where Fuego does need that help. So Fuego would definitely be good with Fana. I think Fuego and Fana is an insane combo because you have 2 AoE burns, which means you could get a chance to have 3 stacks of burn immediately if you use both of their AoE skill 2s. So I think that those two together will be amazing. Now, of course, remember, Season 2 is going to have even more stuff, and then we might get a step up. So if you are free to play, I think that there is a, I could see the reason for you not to summon because we don't know what kind of step up we're getting. So I think that saving could be good, but you have to realize step ups also don't need as much currency, so you're safe there. Plus, whenever the season resets, we get a bunch of new crystals, like ways to get crystals. So I think you're fine. Plus, we're gonna get story. Story's gonna give us more crystals. We get more patrol stages. I think you're gonna be fine for now. So, Licht, you're gonna summon on if you have a crit team built with Funeral, I'd say, because if you have Funeral, this guy's guaranteed critting, I'd say. Right? Like, he's going to have at least 70% crit rate all the time, which is stupid good. You could get it even higher if you really try. And then Fana is going to be amazing with Fuego. I think amazing with Fuego, first of all. Second of all, she's going to be a PvE goddess. She's going to, bro, her and Yami are going to carry PvE so hard. And I cannot wait to see this. I'm so happy that Fana is really good. But if you do summon for Fana, you have to get her skill page. I believe her skill page is quite a necessity for her because of this burn. I think this burn is way too good. Not really the same thing for Lich, but I think that it's still really good getting that extra crit rate buff, plus also the buff block, not debuff block, buff block. Okay, they cannot receive buffs for 2 turns. Which if you manage to land this off before buffs start rolling in, it's gonna be insane. Now I wish he got speed somewhere because his name is Lich, which is literally light speed. He should have been a lot quicker, and it does seem like his base speed is 103, same as all the other units. So I think that if you do manage to get his attacks off first with this, it'll be great, but if not, he'll be good. I don't think he's amazing. I think he's good. Fana, I think, is going to be good in PvE and PvP with Fuego, but we'll have to see when we actually get her in the game. But both you should consider summoning for, but out of the 2, I think that Fana should be summoned on over Lich, but I want Lich more because I've read Yami, right? So that's it for the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.